What's going on, guys? We are back. Episode number 8. How are we doing?
What up, everybody? What's good?
Matthew Barton.
Matthew Cano, founders of Still Active. We are here, episode number 8, guys. This is something we've been anticipating for a very long time. Just kidding. No, it's not. Just a regular episode today. We are back in January of 2024. We finished off last in 2023. Happy New Year to you all watching this. Hope it was a good one for you guys. And I hope that you all are on the New Year, New Me board, just like Barton over here.
Yeah, Happy New Year, guys. Lots to be excited about. Kind of like a fresh new canvas here for the new year, which is always exciting. Kind of set up your goals for the year and start taking action as soon as you can.
Yeah, set it up. I've been thinking about the 2024 goals, and I'm still recovering from the hectic times and stuff from the holidays and all that. I mean, definitely good times, but hectic. You know how it is, house to house, people to people. It's always a great time, just like, kind of like a little like break from like, I don't want to say real life, but your day to day. But yeah, so hope you guys have those written out, planned out at least, or starting to think about them because this is day, what is this?
3.
3? Page number 3 of 365. Yes, I saw that on Facebook, but it doesn't matter. Um, yeah, so day number 3 of the year. What are you guys thinking about doing this year? What are some actionable goals, some measurable goals that you guys are setting for this year right now? Is it health wise, fitness wise? Is it business wise, finance, relationship, personal development? What is it? Let us know. We want to hear it. And we will also share some things that we're planning this episode as well.
Yeah. I feel like it's usually like trends. You know what I mean? Like you see kind of like the majority each year kind of stick to something, whether it like one year it could be fitness, another year it could be like reading books or, finance. But I feel like it's never too scattered usually.
I mean, yeah, there's definitely a lot of trendy stuff going on. I mean, that's just what happens. But I think that the real grinders, they're focused in their own lane and things like that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, you know, we all get influence on social media to a certain degree and, the trends and what's going on. But I think that, you know, right now is a good time for you to really put your nose down and stay in your own lane. I say fuck the trends, but it's also not hard to get caught up in something like that. I'm back on a trend that I had in like 2015 with this hair. You guys may have noticed I haven't had my hair like this. Those of you that know me, it's been a while. Um, yes, I had this similar hair in 10th grade, and it was like, what was it? It was called like the douchebag haircut or something like that.
Every trendy haircut is, gets that label.
I don't have the hard part in it though. No hard part. You see, no hard part. We're good. But yeah. So yeah, it is though, Barton. So, what do you think the trend of this year is gonna be?
I think honestly it's heavy into fitness this year, which isn't a bad trend to follow. I think it should be a trend and you should be pushing for that. I feel like 8 years ago, like fitness wasn't as popular, nowhere near as it is now. Everyone's kind of looking for that long term like health nowadays, whether it's ice dunks or the gym, sunlight, whatever it may be. I think people are starting to become more aware of their own health.
Yeah, I would agree with that for sure. I would say though that fitness has always kind of been a trend in the beginning of every year. It's like, I mean, you see it, with like the gyms and shit and everything.
Yeah,
Like,
100%.
but I get what you mean. Like, I feel like you see more and more of it now, and everyone's kind of just like coming out with crazy studies on like health things and oh, this is really bad for you or this is really good for you. And then the next year something comes out and it's just like, yeah, we thought it was really good for you, but it's actually like causing this and that.
Yeah, that
Um,
that does happen often, unfortunately.
yeah, but it is yeah, with like the gyms and shit and the fitness and stuff. I mean, everyone's always like, yeah, January's packed and then it fizzles out by February. Listen, guys, if you've been, if you've experienced that or you've been one of those people, I mean, make this year different. I mean, do it for yourself. I
And
mean,
that it's a good thing too, you know. That's people get sick of it. It's cliche because everyone says it every year, you know, new year, new me, whatever it is, or plan to do all this good stuff for yourself. But I mean, at least give it a try. You have to give it a go. Like you can't just
yeah, for sure. I mean, listen, like I know people that have started as a New Year's resolution and have been in the gym 2, 3, 4, or 5 years. I mean, it just really the resolution, the new year, definitely like, mentally like a clean slate and stuff like that. But you don't need to wait to take action on the things that you want to do. And honestly, like you don't need to wait for a new date, anyone else. Like I know people too who only work out when there's other people there. You know what I mean? Like there's I need a workout partner. I need a workout partner. It's like, dude, like we'd all love workout. I mean, maybe not everyone. I would love a consistent workout partner, and I used to have that when I was younger, but everyone's just like so busy these days, and everyone has different work schedule, different family obligations, different work obligations, and it's damn near impossible for me. But if that was the case, then I probably wouldn't work out at all if I was waiting for someone.
yeah. And honestly, you can't wait around. I used to be in that schedule too, where it's like, you're always trying to coordinate with someone else's schedule. And then you kind of get caught up, not giving attention to certain things you should be because you're, trying to move your own life around to
No,
match up with somebody else's. But
that's a fact, and I mean, you can to some degree. You can definitely like be flexible, but there's just some things that are just non-negotiable, and you need to get them done.
yeah, I love that
Um,
you just said that non negotiables because I feel like if you're on any kind of determined path, you definitely need to have some non negotiables for yourself.
you definitely do, and they can change for you over time too. Like things that I thought were non-negotiable even 3, 4 years ago. Now it's just like you can be flexible with them and stuff like that. But I think that you definitely need to stick to your core values, especially when you're trying to like work with someone or coordinate with something. And it's not hard to let those slip over time. Like I know for me, like actually like the past few months has been like kind of like a reconstructive period in my life because I did let a lot of things, I'm not going to say go per se, but things that I had in the back of my mind and I'm like, I really should work on that more or something like that. And then you know what I mean? It's like, I'll get to it, I'll get to it. And then you just eventually don't. And then, so that's my biggest thing right now. And I guess New Year's resolution. I mean, even though it started before the New Year, is just like get those things done because you're gonna have them stack up and it's gonna become such a heavy weight that's when, the stress and the bad stuff really starts to come in. So try to take care of that stuff now and like take it from me. Like I literally just experienced it. I'm still going through it right now, trying to clean up all of that stuff. So take care of yourself most importantly for real and like listen to yourself and know yourself and listen to your intuition. When you start to feel something kind of get a little out of whack, I mean, pay attention to it.
I love it, bro. Yeah, it's good to be able to be aware in those times too.
Yeah.
Kind of just work your way through it, talk about it, and that's when you can kind of form those non-negotiables because you know what's required. You know what you can't do now.
Well, I saw this thing the other day and it kind of gave me a new perspective on things. It said, success in whatever you want takes sacrifice. And that's an obvious. I mean, that's stuff we've known. But sometimes you just need a reminder of that. And then it basically said after that, it said, perhaps some of the things that you're not willing to sacrifice is what's holding you back from whatever success it may be. And to tie into the non negotiable thing, it's just like, wow. Like when I saw that, I'm like, oh my, that's crazy because like it kind of just gave me an epiphany. Like for one thing, like my sleep was like so bad. Like we've talked about it. Like I'm a night hawk. Like I love to stay up all night, but I just can't do that anymore. Um, and that was what's holding me back a lot. Like I go to bed, I usually get 7, 8 hours of sleep these days. And I feel so much better in the morning and I get so much more done. And like it's what I needed and it was holding me back. So a non-negotiable for me now is like, the sleep. That's just I can't do the 3, 4 hours of sleep for months on end anymore. I can't. It's not the sleep is a non-negotiable thing for me. And it truly like bled into other areas of my life. And like, just from working on the sleep for a short period of time, I've already noticed like significant changes in me for the positive.
Oh yeah,
Like
dude.
right
This
now,
is
it's like, sorry to interrupt you, but it's like 7 o'clock. I'm already tired. I've been up since like 4:45.
yeah.
That's the kicker though. So I'm sorry. What were you gonna say though?
No, I was just gonna say that's I know that you've been doing that. You literally texted me at like 4:40 this morning.
Yeah, it's been a grind, and some days are easier than others. But once you're up, you're like, all right. You know what I mean? Then you get your morning workout in, whatever whatever you meditate, read, whatever it may be, and like like I usually start working at like 8 a.m. every day.
What is your morning routine? What do you like to do?
Um, I wake up, get out of bed. I used to go right for the coffee, but now I'm doing this thing where I don't have caffeine for about an hour and a half after I wake up because I read I think it's like cortisol or something like that. Um, they'll be at a peak at about that time after you wake up. And you guys can fact check me because it may be a little off, but I'm almost positive that's what it is. But either way, they say you're supposed to like expose yourself to natural sunlight before you're really on your phone, and then like avoid the caffeine for like an hour and a half to 2 hours after you wake up. So now I wake up, I instantly just drink some water. I kind of like I have this little notebook that I recently got that I kind of just like map out my day the night before, and I kind of review it in the morning. I'm like, okay, I do this, and that. And I also check my calendar too because there's just a lot going on in my life between work and events and whatever it may be, and it kind of keeps me sane. So I truly just review all this type of stuff. Then after that, I go to the gym, work out for like an hour, hour and 20 minutes ish, depending. Then I get back home, shower, all that stuff. Then I start work at like 8 o'clock. So it's not bad. How about you, Barton? What do your morning routine look like?
Yeah, prime. That sounds prime for you for sure. For me, I mean, it's a little bit different. My day to day lately has kind of been, all over the place, depending on what I got going on. But definitely gonna, especially this year more so, I'm gonna try to get some stretching in. Would like to touch on like 10, 20 pages of a book in the morning. I do the same thing. I like write down everything I need to get done for the whole week. And then I also write down like day by day what I need to get done for the day. Just because I like to like physically check shit off as I get it done throughout the day. Just helps me, clear up like being overwhelmed or like any anxiety or whatever. I just know I'm fully clear as long as that like list is checked off. And yeah, just try to slam some cold water in the morning. I usually have a protein shake. Don't usually eat until like 11:30, 12. That's about it.
No, that's solid for sure. So, kind of going back to you saying like I'm all set when those boxes are checked. I think that's important for a lot of people too, is really planning out your day and like whatever, however, whether it's on a notebook, a phone. I mean, I prefer a notebook. There's just something about the separation from all that bullshit that I like. But I don't know about you or anyone watching this, but even like when I get stuff done at the end of the day, like thoughts are lingering or like I feel like there's a lot of like loose ends. And that's like my own problem. So I found that like when I write these things down for the day and they're actually accomplished, I'm like, okay, you got what you need done for the day. But it still feels like loose ends. And I think I'm getting better at that. But would you say that like it kind of helps you feel? I know you said like you're all set. When you say you're all set, like does that mean that you can like sit back and like relax and be like, you know what, I can have some time for me now. I can relax. I can fuck around, do
Yeah.
whatever, that's
So
like sorry.
no, no. So yeah, I mean those things that would need to be done are kind of like the non-negotiables for the day. Like that list needs to be touched on. It needs everything on that list needs attention at some point today. If it gets attention, then I can, kind of, yeah, like you said, kind of have a little bit more time to myself, be in the gym or whatever. I mean, the gym is one of the non-negotiables. So that is on the list.
So when you say that you're all set once those boxes are checked, you're able to truly relax and like, do whatever you want, I guess. You were mentioning that the non-negotiables were like, going to the gym and whatever else is on that list for you. So you're saying that once those boxes are checked, you have a easier time relaxing or unwinding per se because your non-negotiables are already complete.
For sure. Yeah. Yes.
All right. Yeah, that's cool. And I think that it's important for everyone to kind of hear that because like I know for me personally, if I don't write things down in front of my face, like things will get muddy. Like things will cross over and things will be forgotten. And when there's just so much going on in a day and you have like appointments or you need to see clients or whatever it may be, you need to write stuff down. That's a non-negotiable in itself for me. Like I can't go to bed until that's done. Because if I wake up and it's not, I'm like, whoa. I wake up, I'm like, what the fuck?
It
Like,
probably helps you sleep too.
well, it does. And like, waking up with a plan, dude, it's having that set in stone plan for the day. I mean, you can leave flex room and stuff. And obviously it's not every single day you need to objectify your life. But like for me, generally most days it's like, when there's work to be done and the non-negotiables, you need to have those down. You know what I mean? If you have like a true weekday, or I'm sorry, like a true weekend, or whatever day off, like, bro, shit's not getting written down. You know what I mean? But like, if you have a day where it's just like you got to work and you have appointments and whatever else, like it's there. Like, I'm not gonna write down and be like, uh, go get tattooed and then go out to eat after. Like, that's just there's no need for that. But I mean, like the days where it's like, all right, you have an appointment at 8, you have another job at 3 p.m., you have, the gym at, 12, whatever. Like those are the things I'm writing down because like, I don't know. We can get off this topic, but yes, writing the things down has helped me tremendously. And if you guys watching this have been feeling kind of like cloudy and muddy and kind of having a hard time keeping everything straight, I highly suggest it. And I don't recommend it on the phone. Like, I mean, get a notepad and write it down because there's something about the action of writing it down that helps too.
100%. I would second that for sure.
Kind of rolling in. Yeah, Sam number 95 this week is create. Simply create, just create. I feel like as humans, we are blessed with this ability to just create. And me and Barton were talking about it. It truly is a superpower. You have the ability to act on an idea and create the outcome that we desire or get close to it. And it can be applicable to almost anything. And I'm not going to sit here and list all the categories that it can be, but it's literally anything in life. And I think that we all don't think we have as much control as we actually do. With that being said, there's obviously things we can't control, but you can also create and control how you react to those things and how you choose to dwell on it or not dwell on it or whatever it may be. So I think it's important. And we all have the ability, no matter the situation. I mean, you see all this like wild stuff like on the internet and stuff, like people who are unfortunate with um, certain sicknesses or disabilities or whatever, like they're coming out with their own businesses, like they're like whatever it may be, being creative. You know what I mean? Like not just like laying down and like surrendering. Like yeah. So I saw this girl, and I don't remember exactly what she had as far as a disability going on, but I know that she was like she couldn't move like part of her body or something, but she came out with this like card business, and she basically has some sort of technology that these scientists and medical professionals helped put together just for her in her certain condition. And she is able to make custom like greeting cards and like birthday cards or like Valentine's Day cards, and like dude, she blew up.
That's sick, dude. Good for. I mean, fuck.
You know what I mean? Like dude, like
That's the shit I love to see.
well, that's what I mean. It's like dude, it's like there are people who are like, not exactly fortunate in health or, ability to do certain things, but yet they still overcome and they still like thrive in that way. It's nuts, dude. So like that's what I mean. Like,
I feel like a lot of that comes from the realization of how blessed people truly are. Because like they are less fortunate. You know what I mean? So they do see an avenue of like they can think that. They can think, "Oh, I'm less fortunate," and blah blah blah. But then they can also realize, how much ability and power and strength humans actually have. You know what I mean? Whether it's a pursuit of a personal project or like durability, toughness, whatever, things like that. You know what I mean? Like those things are superpowers.
Well, they are, and also I think that having a limitation of some sort forces you to become more creative. And like I think that anybody has a limitation in some way, shape, or form. Like there's no one who's perfect. You know what I mean? Like that just doesn't exist. So like I could be really good at playing the drums and you're really good at taking photos and getting the right angles and perfecting the lighting and whatever it may be, and so and so's good at golf or so and so's good at graphic design and I'm not, or so and so's super strong and I'm just they're genetically gifted and no matter how hard I work I'll never be as genetically gifted as them. You know what I mean? So like it's truly all just a matter of perspective, what you're chasing and your limitations, and then like you're forced to like be like, okay, I can do this though, and I can get to maybe close to that with a different avenue. Like everybody is creative whether they want to think it or not. Um, and I just think that it's a super important one. It's one of my favorite Sams. Barton actually finessed this Sam this week, so that was good thinking, Barton. Good job, Barton.
Let's go. Yeah, dude. I mean, this is also one of my favorites. A couple of these really, really I live by day to day. I mean, this isn't really something to live by. It's more like a realization and kind of be appreciative of it and use it while you can, because it can make life a whole lot more interesting. Getting yourself into some things that you're more so interested in than what generally you may get caught up in your day to day. But that's for another chit chat. But back to the Sam, yeah. Honestly, this one and then like live with intent things. Those ones are like I don't know, sweet spots for me.
Yeah. I mean, they're important, dude, and I feel like we indirectly discuss a lot of the Sams without even realizing it in our episodes. We went over it before, like the whole theme of what we got going on is truly just personal development. And I know we talk about a lot about entrepreneurship and stuff, but it's so much more than that. Like it can be as little as like trying to like overcome a certain like habit you have or you know as big as starting a business or I mean I don't know, it's truly with everything, just personal development as a whole.
And
And
we're talking about it because that's the stuff we do. That's what we're interested in, and that's our process. That's what we're going through, and we're talking about it.
yeah, yeah, so we have had some haters already, which you know bring it on. But I just want to set the record straight, to reiterate what Barton just said is like we're not sitting here preaching. We're not sitting here like we have it all figured out. We don't. We don't. Like this is more so of like an interactive experience for everybody, and we ask for, calls to action from you guys like every week, with everything. Like we want to hear what you guys have to say. And we don't, dude. We're literally two young dudes who are just interested in leveling up in every single way. And some ways are harder than others. And this shit does not happen overnight. Like it's literally like years. You have a lifelong of prosperity ahead of you, everyone watching. You literally will never stop learning. You will literally never be perfect. I mean, you will never be perfect. I hate to break it to you, a lot of you guys. And I had to tell myself that too because I had this whole I don't even know, this false sense of reality when I was a kid. Like, when I grow up, like, I got to be like all these adults. Like, I used to think every single adult had everything figured out. Like, I used to think, like, wow, they're so responsible. Wow. Like, you know, they got jobs
Too.
and
Me too, bro.
like, and now I'm an adult myself, even though I still feel like a kid. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? These people are fucked.
Dude, the sick thing is most adults still feel like they're fucking 20, 30 years old, like mentally. You're not like, oh, I'm 40 now. Let me change who I am. Obviously, you develop over the years from responsibilities, and you kind of set a precedence at one point in your life where you're like, all right, I'm not doing that shit no more. But I mean, generally, most of the adults I talk to, it's crazy to talk to older people about it. You know what I mean? Because it's like a flash in the future. You know what I mean? Like it's just another like thing that makes you appreciate where you are and being so young, and not to rush the journey, because the shit's time's gonna go by regardless. Just gotta continue to do the little things you love to do day by day.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, my grandmother, she's in her 80s now. She always told me growing up, like, don't lose your inner child. And she still tells me that to this day. And I think it's super important. And I mean, a lot of older people I talk to are like, yeah, I still feel like I'm 20 and they're like 60 or like whatever. You know what I mean? And they tell you, like, don't blink, and they tell you, don't take it any moment for granted, even in your hard times, because you're going to look back and, you're going to grow from that and things like that. So, yeah, don't lose your inner child, guys. Get shit done, of course, but, there's really nothing that you have to take too seriously and like change who you are. Like, of course, you can evolve over time, like Barton said, and develop new good habits and drop old habits you maybe when you were a little bit more immature, stuff like that. But don't lose who you are. And I will say that for most people, it's not that hard to lose who you are at times, especially like, if you're in your 20s or you're a teenager, stuff like that. Like, you're kind of just like, damn, like, you're kind of making that transition from a kid to an adult, and it can be kind of like confusing, and you can get pulled in all these different directions and things like that. But you just need to stay true to yourself. And I will tell everyone this: when you're young, take risks. I wish I took more risks when I was younger, still living in my house with my parents. I did everything backwards, and I'm like trying to catch up. But, you don't know what you don't know. So I'm telling you guys right now, if you're a younger person, even if you're an older person, dude, I mean, shit. You want me to start referencing Gary Vee? No, but for real, it's truly never too late. But, shout out to all the older people too who are, you know, they're putting on the years and they're still living like their kids, and in certain, not always, but you know what I mean? Like, they just haven't lost that mentality of having fun. Have fun with anything you do.
Yeah, 100%. And honestly, you just touched on probably the most important group that should be listening to this advice, which would be those transitioning teens going into adulthood. you know truly stick to what you love to do. If you're going to lose friends or whatever over it, or whatever, stick what you love to do, and the right people will come along, and things will take the path that they're supposed to take. But what I'm mainly getting at is, you don't want to be caught up being, I mean, don't lose your inner child, but you also don't want to be extremely immature. Like, don't be doing dumb shit. Don't be like, just be a good person, be a good kid. The sooner you start being, a good person, you still have fun. Just be a good person, and life will be a lot better.
Yeah. I mean, really. I mean, you can still do some dumb shit, but not too dumb. You know what I mean?
Just don't get caught.
All right. Oh,
Oh, that's a bad one, bro. Bleep that up. Bleep that up.
cancel. He getting canceled. He's done. He
And
getting
now you're
canceled.
trending, bro.
Yeah, literally, dude. This fucking older dude, and I'm not gonna say who it is just for the sake of whatever. But he always used to say, he's like, nothing's illegal unless you get caught. He also had a very long police record. I found out later when I grew up. Um, but yeah, so don't be that person. Definitely, just try to be the best you can be. We're all gonna make mistakes along the way. But I also saw this thing the other day too. I'll share with you about that. Is no amount of guilt can fix the past, and no amount of anxiety can change the future. So just keep that in mind. But also, what Barton said: if you lose people along the way when you're staying true to yourself, it may be painful, but ultimately, like, you attract who you are, and things will work out 100%. It may not take a day, a week, a month, maybe a year, more or less. It will work out. If you stay true to yourself, then you will attract exactly who you are.
Yeah. And just focus on you. Become a fucking beast, in every avenue possible.
Every.
Literally, whatever you can take action on, do it sooner than later. Maybe you're not able or in the position to, boost yourself to where you want to be financially, but you could be working on your health, your eating, your fitness. You could be working on your smarts, your knowledge, your skills. Like there's a bunch of shit to be working on, and the sooner you get ahead, the sooner you're gonna get ahead. Sooner you're gonna get ahead in life.
Yeah, so with that being said, so this week's question of the week, what kind of legacy or impact would you like to leave behind from your work or your contributions? So, Barton, what do you want? What are you looking for?
Um, Honestly, as far as like legacy, yeah, I definitely want to have a community of like-minded individuals, just like still active, obviously on a bigger scale, of just inspiration, people doing the things they love to do, you know have an outlet for entertainers or other people that are doing like businesses, just kind of have a structure or platform that allows me to provide this for other people and creatives. I want to be remembered and known as like that guy, that dude, good ass dude, very reliable. If you need something done, like he'll take care of it. He'll take care of you. Like just go down as a great person, taking care of people and just doing great things, great work, and positive. Yeah, that's how I would wrap it up.
Solid. All right. I mean, dude, I think that's, I mean, that you already got that going for you right now. I mean, and obviously you want to take those things to a bigger scale, but, you already possess those qualities, just staying consistent with it and just keeping it going. That's what'll help drive that home even more for you, I think.
Yeah, hell yeah, I appreciate that. And for you, sir?
Oh, gosh. So the type of legacy or impact that I would like to leave behind. Truly, at the end of the day, it's pretty simple, dude. Like, I think a lot of people have a similar thing. You do want to be remembered as, oh man, he was a stand-up guy. You know, he worked hard and he provided for his family, and he was a cool person to be around, and all those things too. But also, like, I want to be remembered for going against the grain. I want to be remembered for, like, he stood on his own beliefs and he stood on his own when no one else was and stuff like that. Just because there's a lot of people who just have like that pack mentality, monkey see, monkey do, and stuff like that. And I mean, don't get me wrong, like, there are a lot of things that I agree with that the majority agree on, but like there's a lot of things too that, like, I'm like, nah, fuck that. Nope. Won't change on that. I want to be remembered and hopefully to inspire people of like, hey, it's okay to think for yourself, and it's okay to be that one person in a crowd to say fuck that, even, because just because you're alone in that, or, a few people, it doesn't mean you're wrong, you know?
I love that, bro. Honestly, I feel like, yeah, like you said, like I would agree with that too. 100%. That's like a very much more simplified way of putting it than I jumbled it up to be, but that's pretty on the fucking head, bro.
Well, it's hard to explain. It
It
really is. And
is.
that's a loaded ass question. Like, it's not just like, hey, what's your favorite color?
And that
You
is
know?
also something that can fucking change, bro. Like,
Oh, dude, everything can change, dude. Nothing is set in stone. Like, everything is fucking temporary, and I don't give a fuck what anyone says. Excuse my language, but for real, like, nothing. Dude, nothing. That's why, like, they
Life
say,
itself is temporary, bro.
of course it is. But yeah, what do you guys want to be remembered for watching this? What is the legacy you want to leave behind? We will ask you guys in this week's story, plural, and comments in this video. Keep your eyes peeled. We actually linked up with a few different people who are some pretty solid ass guests for sure. They've been through a lot and have also made a lot of themselves, some super awesome success stories and things like that. And yeah, Barton, anything else you want to touch on?
Share other people, other creatives, people you want to see, people you think have a cool story, people you think who have been, going at it, really pushing their passion, going after the shit they love to do. We'd love to have them on, man. Sharing their story on our platform, just trying to, shine light on other creatives, other entrepreneurs, people bettering themselves, and we'd love to have them on, chat with them, see what we can do. And that's about it for me. Super excited for this next episode. Glad to be back. Happy New Year. Happy 2024. 44 signing out. MD, have a good night.
We'll see you guys next week.
All right. Have a good night.